Welcome back to class. So today we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics. It is circles of control. All right, what do I mean by this? Pretty basic. Here's what I think of it as. Let me shift this slide so you can actually see. Okay, better. So, circles of control. This is really important for you to understand and make sure that your sense of where these circles are at is actually calibrated to the reality in which you live. Because sometimes we have a little bit of a distorted feeling of what we do control, what we should be able to control. We conflate those, or we think we don't control as much as we do. And that causes all kinds of just internal turmoil and can hold you back in your career and stuff. So, what are these circles? Well, the innermost circle, I'm trying to point with my screen, but you can't see that. Innermost yellowish circle is what you do control. So that's your actions, your mindset, your reactions, your behaviors, your conduct, those type of things, right? You control that. Even though sometimes we might feel out of control, but ultimately that is within our scope of control, our realm. Okay, next circle out from that is kind of the circle of influence. So these are things that you could, affect, have an impact on, influence, but you don't ultimately control what the decision is there or the ultimate outcome. So, making a case to like a sponsor you have in the executive leadership team, that's something you can do. And what you do control is like making the best case possible, but you don't control like what they ultimately decide as far as, do you get a promotion, do you get more budget, like whatever the case may be, right? So that's an important distinction. Other people's decisions, like your supervisor deciding on your raise, your promotion, your performance review, all that, not within your control, but within a circle of influence. And then beyond that, this outer ring circle is stuff that we have, as individuals, we have absolutely no control or influence over, like societal things, systemic oppression, global issues, climate change, all of that stuff, right? We can control our individual acts to try to mitigate those type of things, but ultimately those things are beyond your or my personal control. So making sure these are actually adjusted to the reality in your life, like not thinking that, like not being self-defeating and thinking, okay, there's nothing that I can do in order to advance my career. Well, not true. You can always take certain actions, execute a strategic plan that you've put together, invest in your professional development, your training, your coaching, your growth, all of that. And also sometimes, occasionally we do have clients who are really, really determined and dogged and undeterrable, if that's a word. And this is like all commendable stuff. Like I think it's really great to have that level of like zeal and determination. Sometimes I see this kind of, there being a bit of a backlash on the person because they're trying to control something that ultimately they cannot control. So just make sure, you check with like the mirror of reality here. And then the key really is to focus on the things that you do control and secondarily on the things that you do influence. Let me try to make this smaller. All right, I'm going to make myself smaller if I can. Or just scoot out the way. Okay, that's easiest. So focus on what you do control, and then secondarily, the things that you could possibly influence. And then you'll be in a much less frustrating situation when you are just deciding where to put your energy and things like that. Okay, class dismissed. See you next time.